He is awesome, powerful, holy, forgiving, yet destructive. It's the same God that said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. He reigns forever and ever. He reigns. He reigns. He's been reigning for a long time. In the house of Israel and in this world that he has created. And when I say he, I do not want you to think for one instant that I am eliminating the feminine elements of the attributes of the Eternal One of Israel, for indeed I am not.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
what has appeared to you? And how does the eternal appear? Does the eternal come down looking like we look? I absolutely do not believe that to be the case. But that in fact, when the eternal speaks, he speaks to your mind. He may use elements of other people to be messengers, because the word angel or Malachi is a messenger to bring a message, and sometimes just one message. Sometimes the message is no more than a word. Sometimes the message is no more than a sentence. Some of us want paragraphs and chapters and near books written. We don't only want to, when we say God show us the way, we want God to lay out an entire path. Light up the path and light it. So that we don't miss a stride, we don't miss a beat, that we are right there eternally on this path. I want to look at a couple of things with you today. First of all, I want to tell you that your genealogy is an extremely important thing. It's so important that in most Bibles, Hebrew or Christian, those old Bibles, they got that place for you to write your family, who to, when they were born, who got married to who, how many children they had, what were their children's names, when someone passed in the family. This document that you keep in your home is as admissible in any court of law in this land as an accurate record of your family genealogy and your family history. It is extremely important that we give to our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren their genealogy. Who is who? One of the greatest problems in our society today is that everybody thinks everything is about them. How many pair of new shoes I got? My new shoes. Not about the collective we, and certainly not about those that came before us, and we ain't caring about those who are coming after us. If they can't get it for themselves, then they not going to have it. But we owe them a sense of who they are. And if you don't teach it, they're not going to get it. If we don't teach them what community means, they'll never get it. community. It's just as if they're never around their other family members. They won't know that indeed those are family members. What's one of the drawbacks from that? Well, my son, when he was in school, started talking to a little girl. She was real cute, and the girl liked him, and he liked the girl, and they started talking. And you know, she don't have an F nowhere in her name. Her name is Smith. Well, her mama's name was Smith, but her mama married a man named Smith. So they got to talking one day, and somehow or another, the conversation came up about family. And then they realized, wait a minute, well, my daddy mentioned something about a cousin named Una before. I said, Una, my mama. That made you my cousin. Now, we're not from that part of the country. Well, that's accepted. Whenever the film is going on, I want you all to know that what you say here goes out from here, and you don't never want anything that goes out to come back the wrong way. But we don't. It's not a part of our culture. It's not a part of our heritage. We don't marry our cousins, half brothers, half sisters. You know? We don't do that. How many of you guys ever tried to kiss your sister? This don't work. Just don't work. Don't, you know, if it do work, then go to the doctor. Because there's certain elements in your character that need to be gone through and gone over. Our genealogy of what we give to our children. Who are their grandparents and their great-grandparents? Save every old record that you can. Birth certificates, marriage licenses, obituaries. Save every scrap of what you can, because that is your life. It is the branch from which we have sprung, from which you have sprung, and it is the branch that your children will be growing from. In the book of Ezra, once they returned from the captivity, there were some that said that they were part of the priesthood. But they started searching the records, and they could not find records to verify that certain members who claimed to be priests were indeed priests. So they had to set them aside and said that you cannot eat of those things that are most holy, and until someone can come that is the greater judge than we are to give judgment in this matter, you cannot be a part. Many of the men had taken foreign women and did not bring the foreign women into their way of life, but they actually started following the foreign women in the manner